Alright, YouTube, this is Phantom Rain. I'm back again with some Smite content. And instead of the usual, I'm just going to leave the video uncut, unedited, just full raw film, besides the fact that I'm adding audio to it. And as you, as you can see, or, well, even if you can't see, this is a previously recorded video, and I'm going to be talking over it to tell you the breakdown of everything. So basically, today is my first time using Vulcan, and it's easy for me to adapt to new gods, and based off the way Vulcan's playstyle is, he's more of a defensive play. Even though his title is Pusher, he's more of a defensive god than anything, since he creates a turret, and with that turret he can use that to clear waves, like I'm doing right here. As you can see, I put it right there, take care of the rest of the minions, and take the experience from that. And that's just me wasting an ult, basically. I tried to hit from behind the rock because I saw a god go behind there. And if you didn't know this, the only one that I personally think rivals Hebo in terms of raw magical power and his abilities would have to be Vulcan, because the percentages by which his abilities go up by are amazing. Like, for instance, like I think it's the number 1. It has like an 80% scaling or something like that with magic. Like, I'm just going off the top of my head right now, so my numbers are completely off. Don't blame me for it. Anyway, and the one I do remember is the ult. The ult scales off both the damage it does plus 140% of your magical power, which is exactly what I'm running right now. So basically I'm capitalizing off on that and just maximizing the amount of power I can do. Like, as you can see, the turret only at level 6 is doing a really significant amount of damage to the camps. And even though I'm not going to be able to clear it since I'm not in the perimeter, I left it there, and you saw I was doing pretty decent damage. It was hitting like a regular 60. Yeah, right there. See? 65, 65. Damage for that is pretty amazing, pretty damn good, actually, especially for early game like this. You know, just try to help my teammate back off a little bit. Make sure the hell didn't get the kill off him. And here's me using the ult again, and you see right there, 358. 358 at level 7. Now, that's not the most amazing damage in the game, but that's pretty damn good. And as you can see, I'm missing basically every shot over here against that Osiris, but that's besides the point. You know, spray and pray is my motto. Yeah, I think as you can see right here, the enemy team is starting to catch on to the fact that my Vulcan is actually tearing through their health, despite the fact that he's basically an underrated god. So they're taking a little bit easy. But as soon as I backed off, they started getting more aggressive over there. See, if you look on the map, you can see that they're pushing my teammates off of the tower. And this right here, this is a tip that I'm gonna try and give everyone here. If you're playing Clash or like Joust or Conquest, I always recommend hitting up camps, specifically experience camps, which is exclusive to Clash, Conquest, and Siege. They help you a lot, especially as a mage or an assassin, which like loses the off in the long run if they're behind in levels. That helps out a lot, and I consecutively hit it to make sure that I don't fall behind, and instead I actually go ahead. Alright. Oh, and as you saw before, I wasted another ult. It would have finished him. It would have been overkill, yes, but it's Odin, and he deserves it. He's the Allfather, so he deserves all the damage. Yeah, no, crappy puns, right? And as you can see, that now the damage is actually starting to increase like a really good amount. And if you couldn't tell, Vulcan is basically an ability-based mage. Like most mages, when you stack up on their magic power, the normal, like the base damage they do from regular swing increases significantly. but you don't see that significant increase with Vulcan until about endgame. So basically, what you want to do with Vulcan is it's a tad bit of a combo. So basically, what I do is I usually place down the turret, hit the circle, and then hit the square. So basically, what you're doing is hitting the turret to take their attention off you, so that they don't automatically lock on you. And then you hit your circle to do the blast damage. Usually, if you hit from behind, it'll just blast them into the turret, and you get an extra hit in. And they also get closer to you. Once they're closer to you, you can use your square to basically both escape and do damage to them while pushing them back into the turret. Because the square, if you look it up on Vulcan, it shoots out like, I guess you can call it, it just shoots out the projectile from the mini factory on his back, and it's basically like a miniature bomb. And while it does that, the burst from it pushes you backwards. So it acts as a light escape as well as damage. And as you can see, it's starting to increase the damage for the ults right there. Almost 500 damage in the hell right there. It's pretty damn good if you ask me. So basically the main strategy for using Vulcan is lay down your turret, let them take some fire, hit with the circle, which has like a really good range as you can see right there. And it does a really good amount of damage. And either try to finish off with the square or move your turret up again and just hit some more base damage on that. Because believe it or not, the turret seems to have a really decent amount of penetration, even though it doesn't say so. But like the damage for it usually stays constant. Even when people are like stacking magical defense, the turret still can do like a decent amount of damage, and the rate of fire for it isn't that bad. So if anything, even if you're running solo, if you put that turret down, it's basically like having another god with you. So even if it's 2 against 1 or 3 against 1, which I was against before in the video before this, not the video before this, the match before this on Joust, I was getting triple teamed by a Zeus, a Fenrir, and an Artemis, I think it was. And the turret really helps out a lot because the damage on it, as I said before, is significant, and it does tear through health of mages and assassins, especially even hunters. The only thing that you have to worry about is warriors, since they tend to be more beefy and have more defense than any other class in the game besides guardians, of course. And as you can see on the left side of the screen, I'm building Shoes of Focus and the Sash. Both of them increase magic damage and the mana. And as you see, that's helping a lot. Once you get towards like level 10, you don't really have to pull back as Vulcan. You can stay in the fight for a long period of time, and only pull back when you really need to, like when you're about to buy something. Like I had like over 3,000 gold on me, so I came back to buy the next item in my set and to refill on mana. But if I hit a mana camp, I wouldn't really have to worry about heading back for a while. And this match is kind of we're kind of bullying them if you look at it. Like it's 18-0, 10 minutes into the game. And just that ult, man. Just look at that ult. 572 damage. You can't get better than that. And then you see this Mercury is running away. I could have proceeded. I could have been greedy. I could have went for the kill. But I was a little bit slow, a little bit too cautious, and he managed to get away. Right there. Last second. That would have finished him off. But it's fine because, as you can see, the uncut film, I haven't died once, and I've been getting a couple of kills in. You know, showing off Janus to those who undermine him. And as you can see, they haven't even touched our towers. We've already taken out their right. We're on almost done with their left, and we're actually up to their Phoenix right now, taking that out as well. I didn't notice it at the time, but after I came back, the Phoenix was gone, and the enemy team is being pushed back really hard. And this is something you don't really see often when you see an Otis. That's a new nickname for Odin right there. When you usually see an Odin on an enemy team, they have a lot of pushing potential and a lot of like ganking potential. because of the fact that his ult creates like a ring around you that it's hard to escape, and that literally just opens up the gateway to getting your ass kicked, because you can't leave and his teammates can come in when as they please. And from the looks of it, you can see that they have an Artemis and an Osiris as well, both of which are not people you want to meet in close combat as a mage. But luckily enough, we left the Odin underleveled, so it's not much that he could have done. And as you see, you get a tad bit of rage quit right there. And this is around the part of the match where we're basically just being bullies. Like, we're too low level to take out the Titan without an issue, but we can take it out. But you know, who's gonna pass up a free kill like this? Boom, 308 on the circle, level 14, mind you. And like I said earlier, Vulcan is not really good for basic attacks. It's horrendous. See that Mercury backing off. You saw Vulcan. Don't worry, Daddy's home. But usually this is a nice change of pace for me as well, because I've been playing Naja non-stop, and she is amazing, because the amount of crit potential on him is just ridiculous. Basically every hit is a hit, every hit is a crit, and the last hit hits for over 1400 with the current build that I'm using. And if you guys want to, I'll make a video on that Naja. I'm not sure how good the video will come out, but I'll make a video on it in your game mode of choice, of course. But if you don't give a choice or not, or if you don't give a choice of game mode, I'm more than likely going to pick either Arena or Joust just to get the message across, because those are fast paced and it's easier for me to get my build in. But the places that he really shines are Siege and Conquest, because those are long maps and he's an assassin. He's not the best with escapes, but he is the best with like singling off enemy gods to take them out easily. And based off previous experience with using him, he can take out basically any type of god that isn't a guardian or possibly a warrior stacking defense in about one combo. 3 or 4 hits, they're dead. At the end game, there's no coming back for them, because the amount of crit damage that he does is just ridiculous. Just think about it this way: the first hit, over 600 damage. And even at my health right now, that's at 2100, that would take a chunk out of it. Add in another 2 or 3 hits, then it's game over, basically. I've even managed to take out, what's the name? Forgive me if I butchered the name, but Xing Tiang, I think it is. I managed to take him out with, like, basically one basic combo. I'm not talking about abilities, I'm talking about basic attacks. Managed to take him out like that. And as you can see right there, the ultimate just did 910 damage. And that's against Mercury? Oh yeah, and the thing about that ultimate is the farther you are away from the opponent, the more damage it does. So let's say I'm standing at the Titan right here, right? And they're over by the base. If I was to hit them with the ult, it would probably do about 1400 damage. But if I do it right near me, it'll only do about 700, 800 damage. Either way, that's a ridiculous amount of damage, and Vulcan is no god to be messed with if you build him correctly and use him correctly. But that's the end of the match, and I'm glad you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Phantom Rain. It was great talking with you. Alright, goodbye. See you in the next video.